They used to say it was the most advanced ship, claiming it would never sink. However, when it did sink, a film was made about it. These were the main reasons for the global fame of the Titanic disaster. Unfortunately, it is not the only large-scale sunken ship, and there have been much worse incidents than the tragedy of the Titanic, such as the story of the Sultana disaster. The size of the Sultana ship was enormous, with 3 decks and a length of 260 feet and a width of 70 feet. Its captain was an individual named James Cameron Mason. Sultana was a ship built in Clexty 3 by the shipbuilding company John Lithebury and Company in Cincinnati, Ohio. Initially designed for the cotton trade along the lower Mississippi River, it typically carried about 85 crew members. Over the course of 2 years, the ship followed a regular route between St. Louis, Missouri, and New Orleans. During the American Civil War, it undertook multiple tasks related to the transportation of troops. Despite being designed to accommodate 376 passengers, the captain of the Sultana faced a tempting offer when the ship made a stop at the dock for steam boiler repairs. During this time, an enticing proposal was presented to the captain. In exchange for a substantial amount, he was asked to transport a large number of prisoners from the North who were involved in the American Civil War. Additionally, the captain accepted the offer to transport and load 120 tons of sugar. In order to expedite its journey, the steam boiler was hastily repaired, allowing the ship to continue its course. Despite the ship's capacity of 378 people, it was carrying 2,030 individuals along with 120 tons of sugar. This led to excessive pressure on the steam boiler during the midnight hours, resulting in its explosion. On that night, one of the largest floods in American history occurred in the Mississippi River. Due to the lack of sufficient lifeboats and the cold weather, only a very small number of people managed to be rescued. It is interesting to note that the ship was only 7 miles north of Memphis. The exact number of casualties is still unknown. While everyone had heard about the Titanic, the story of the Sultana was not as widely known. Perhaps the reason for the lack of discussion about these ships at the time was the series of events related to the end of the Civil War, including the assassination of Abraham Lincoln's assassin John Wilkes Booth, just 1 day before this tragedy. Abraham Lincoln himself had been assassinated 12 days prior to this disaster. In the subsequent stories, we will delve into the life and character of John Wilkes Booth,